INFJs, the rarest of all Myers-Briggs personality types, comprise only 1% of the total US population. Also known as judges or advocates, they're known for their visionary approach to life, their passion for the future, and their empathy. While they gravitate toward appreciating the finer details behind things, unfortunately it causes them a great deal of stress. In fact, according to the MBTI manual, advocates experience the highest amounts of stress at work, in relationships, and even at school. Since they're perfectionists, they may tend to always be stressed. However, after a certain threshold, INFJs may go into survival mode where their shadow traits dominate their ego-syntonic functions. Here's what extreme survival looks like in advocates. Number 6, they may be able to shape future outcomes. The most positive outcome for an INFJ under duress and extreme survival mode is that they may leverage their unique ability to see what possible futures may hold. In a dire situation, they may be able to truly shine and can step away from the action to analyze the long-term implications of things happening around them. Not only will they take the importance of timing and strategy into account, but they will also utilize these aspects to get everything in place for a precise yet careful approach to survival. They will be able to chart a coherent course and map out how long-term goals can be achieved despite obstacles. INFJs will be able to see the potential in people and successfully guide them toward that potential. With a clear mind that utilizes their best personality traits and skills, they can tackle the problem at hand with a razor-sharp focus on the desired outcome. They will work hard and strive to succeed regardless of the effort they have to put in. They get strong vibes from their ego-syntonic functions about how things may play out in the future and how people in general will be impacted. They will also be a shoulder to lean on. There's no doubt that INFJs are gifted in providing personal counseling and emotional support to their loved ones. Sometimes when INFJs are in survival mode, a unique combination of shadow traits and main functions take place, which makes it possible for them to keep a calm, rational mind. Number 5, they're overwhelmed by grip stress. When INFJs experience chronic stress or high levels of sudden, extreme stress, they fall into something called grip stress, which is dominated by their inferior function, extroverted sensing. The stress triggers have to be quite intense or lengthy to push an INFJ to this point. Grip stress can make an INFJ behave uncharacteristically in an unhealthy, imbalanced manner. They may lose their long-range focus and empathic demeanor and instead focus on indulgence and sensory pleasures. Some INFJs may become reckless or impulsive, or they gravitate toward thrills and enjoyments like overeating or bungee jumping without giving it a second thought. While some people who belong to this personality type might find healthy outlets for their stress like exercising, hiking, or cooking, in most cases, grip stress results in the overuse of the inferior function of extroverted sensing. Instead of enjoying the sights and sounds around them in moderation, an INFJ experiencing grip stress tends to go into overdrive. They binge watch, binge eat partly excessively, or take risky decisions. Since grip stress experiences vary from person to person, some of them may become obsessed with cleaning, organizing, or exercising. Some INFJs may feel so trapped that they become impulsive and only focus on the present. They cease to foresee future implications and lose focus and sight, instead bombarding their senses with unhealthy stimuli like listening to loud, crude music, getting piercings, or anything else that's ordinarily out of place for them. In short, they just flip a switch and become a darker version of who they used to be. Number 4, they may throw a tantrum or become defensive. When INFJs go into survival mode, their shadow functions, as defined by Carl Jung, take over. The first shadow function, extroverted intuition, is the most advanced and is usually dominant. Extroverted intuition is the ability to see how one thing could lead to several complex alternatives. It enables people to envision limitless possibilities and potential outcomes to a given scenario in the present or future. MBTI personality types who use the function proficiently are flexible, open-minded, and can modify their viewpoints based on new information. However, when it takes over, INFJs may become defensive, throw tantrums, and become rude and unfriendly. For example, if someone unwittingly insults their ego, they may react brashly or with a quick temper and spew thoughts or words that may hurt the other person. This opposing function is akin to an argumentative, spoiled child who must have their way. When in survival mode, INFJs use their extroverted intuition in a confused, haphazard way to confirm their introverted intuitive beliefs. If they fail, they can lash out and become belligerent with people or things that are causing them stress and confusion. To outsiders, a stressed INFJ may seem out of sync and hypocritical. Number 3, they become self-critical and judgmental. Commonly referred to as the critical parent, The INFJ's second shadow function of introverted feeling creates a strong awareness of values, beliefs, and emotions when used well. In INFJs, it presents itself as a nagging, harsh voice at the back of their heads that constantly tells them that they're doing something wrong or not good enough. Those who have a well-developed or dormant introverted feeling hold on to their personal morals strongly and try to live their lives in accordance with them. While they're open-minded and empathetic, they will not go against anything that doesn't align with their beliefs, as their values and morals are independent of environmental factors and social norms. INFJs use extroverted feeling as their second primary function, which is why they're aware of their other people's emotions and are less aware of their own. However, if their shadow trait takes over, they may appear to be rude and inconsiderate toward others. In advocates, the introverted feeling manifests itself as an internal criticizing voice, which tells them their work is fake or that they failed to uphold their standards. It can also make them suspicious of others, and they may see even their close friends as phonies who have no value or morals or as a failure and embarrassment. Slowly, the shadow function may consume them and cause major damage to not only their relationships but also them. Number 2, they may become overly defensive. In INFJs, the third shadow function is that of extroverted thinking and is rightly referred to as the trickster. Ordinarily, in those who use extroverted thinking as a primary function, it helps them make decisions based on objective facts and inferences from various sources. Extroverted thinkers can think and organize the world outside in a concise, logical manner. They use pros, cons, and logic to make decisions, irrespective of harmony or the emotions of the people involved, and value pre-established rules. When engaged in INFJs, it fools them into thinking that something is important to do in order to defend their ego. It tricks them into seeing themselves and others in a false light while distorting their experiences so that they become overly suspicious. The trickster comes out in INFJs when their ego has been disintegrated. That is, their self-identity and self-esteem are threatened and they go into extreme survival mode. It makes them feel like everything is an effort to undermine them and control them. When in survival mode, everything may present itself as dangerous, and they may also lose their ability to sleep, eat, or just relax their mind. Number 1, they distort past details to fuel their negativity. Introverted sensing is the demon shadow trait in INFJs. In advocates, the demon is the most suppressed area of their unconscious psyche. It refers to how people take in information when they're at their very worst or are feeling the most destructive. When an INFJ is in survival mode, they're at risk of great mental anguish and have probably reached a breaking point where either the ego has been threatened or is at risk of obliteration. In INFJs, the shadow trait is introverted sensing, which when used properly can help them store and recall past experiences. Introverted sensors appreciate the past and have a strong memory of details. They look to the past for tried and true methods that previously helped bring them success and try to apply them to the present to notice changes and see inconsistencies. However, in the case of INFJs, introverted sensing reflects itself in very negative ways. As a result of this function, they may be haunted by the past and even skeptical of it. They dwell on the negatives of the past, what traumatized them, and their mistakes. These negative feelings are not restricted to themselves but can extend to others too. They will pinpoint the failures and mistakes of others and take these as signs that they will never be anything but a disappointment. When in the realm of the demon function, INFJs tend to become obsessed with past trauma and continue dwelling in them, unable to break free. They may also become completely incapable of holding on to details accurately and may distort past details to fuel their vision of hopelessness and failure. Do you identify as an INFJ? Have you ever gone into extreme survival mode? How did you deal with it? Comment below. As always, like and share this video and subscribe to our channel for more updates on psychology.